All right, well, I have a little after 6, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. That way we can get everyone in and out, but give you all the information you need, okay? So everyone, welcome. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. This is for our vocational immersion program orientation. So all of you have been admitted to our VIP program this summer, and we're so excited to have you. Why my screen isn't working? Hold on one sec. There we go. So for most of you, you are Vanguard School students, so you're familiar with VFES's mission statement that we prepare children and adults with special needs to realize their potential as contributing members of the community. And we hope that VIP certainly helps in that aspect as well. Tonight, we're going to go over a few things. So we're just going to go over, welcome, some introductions. We're going to go over our program overview, or VIP program overview. We'll talk about our business partners for the summer. We'll have a brief look at our tentative VIP schedule. We'll talk about our independent living experience, go over some COVID protocols, some next steps, and then we'll have some time for some questions and answers. In the meantime, if I start talking about anything and you have a question and you want to get it out before you forget, or if you need to ask right away, feel free to type in the chat box. Mr. Morales and Ms. Seal are going to be keeping an eye on that, and we'll hop in with any questions. That way, you know, we can keep track of everyone's questions and make sure we get everything answered for you. Just some brief introductions here. So I'm Sasha Biello. I'm the Director of Adult and Recreation Services at VFES. We have Michelle Seal here tonight, who's the Supervisor of Specialized Recreation Services, as well as Edmundo Morales. He's going to be our VIP Program Coordinator this summer. Our job coaches for this summer are going to be Aaron Boring, Janice Hickey, Nate Estock, and Paige Mansour, or some of you may know her as Paige Deblacourt. A lot of you probably know them from the Vanguard School, so they are happy to come join us this summer as job coaches for VIP. Just a quick overview. VIP is a program for young adults age 18 to 24. This year, our oldest student is 21. We don't actually have anyone up through the age of 24, but we do like to focus on our key social and employment readiness skills over 4 weeks. This is a pretty intensive program, so we spend a lot of time both in seminars in person as well as on job sites, doing some real work experiences. And then, of course, the last week is spent as independent living, which tries to give them a real life experience as much as possible. This year, we do have 17 participants that are participating this summer, so we have a nice size group. We're really excited to bring them in. It's going to be great. We place all 17 participants with a business partner. They will be split up into groups, and each group will have a job coach from the list that we just listed. And the job coach will accompany those students to the job sites and stay with them throughout the 3 of the 4 weeks they will be at a job site, so they will be with them that whole time. Please note, just a note for everybody, that any related services, so your physical therapy, your occupational therapy, speech, those sorts of services are not able to be provided during VIP. So that's just something to make note of, just because of the nature of what we're doing and where we're doing it. We're not able to provide those during this program. Just a little bit about our participant profile. So as I said, we serve students ages 18 to 24, 18 to 21 this summer. And we have multiple students who have different diagnoses, such as autism spectrum disorder, learning disabilities, intellectual disabilities, social challenges, etc. So everyone's, you know, in a different area, and that's wonderful. Everybody was referred by a school counselor or a vocational rehab counselor through OVR. So everyone had to go through a referral process and an application, and everyone who's here has been accepted to the program. We do ask that participants have previous vocational experience. It doesn't have to be a lot, but we think it's a good stepping stone to be able to step into this role because it is a rather intensive program. We will be asking them to demonstrate some problem solving and self-advocacy skills, sorry. So if they do have some of that already, that's wonderful. If not, we will be working on those skills throughout the 4 weeks as well. And we ask the participants be motivated to do the job well. Like I said, we will have job coaches with them the whole time who will certainly be there to help motivate. But this is a stepping stone to competitive employment eventually in the future. So it's important to, be willing to do the work and try your best. And like I said, we do have the job coaches who will certainly be there to provide ongoing support to all the participants. Just some information about the curriculum that we use throughout VIP. One of the programs that we use is called Job Tips, which is an online program that we use through VFES. All the participants will have access to that, and they'll have their own login over the summer to be able to access different videos and different lessons, and our job coaches will be using them through the seminars as well. Another program we use is called Skills to Pay the Bills. This is provided through the Office of Disability Employment Policy through the U.S. Department of Labor, or ODEP, as they like to call themselves. This program is focused on students ages 14 to 21. It's to help with soft skills throughout the transition process. So you can see here, these are just some of the areas that are focused on in Skills to Pay the Bills. So like communication, enthusiasm, attitude, teamwork, networking, problem solving, professionalism. So all of our job coaches will be going over these lessons with the students as well before they go out to the job sites, as well as while they're at the job sites, we will be working this into their days as well. And our business partners for this year, we have 4 business partners lined up. Some of them are returning. So our first job site is called Starbooks. For those of you who have done the program before, before we were virtual, I should say, Starbooks is a returning partner. They are a used bookstore in Royersford, Pennsylvania. And our job coaches will be taking them there when they go to their job site. At this site, participants work with staff. They sort books. They do some stocking of shelves. They update databases. And if they're comfortable, our participants can run the cash register and try doing that. That's a small enough store. We also have the Greater Philadelphia YMCA in Phoenixville. So the Phoenixville YMCA will be partnering with us. They're new to our VIP program for a partnership with our VIP program, although they are familiar with our Vanguard School because they are a partner for the CBVT program there. So at this job site, participants will be working throughout the Y doing various activities such as cleaning, prepping activities for camp, and some various general maintenance tasks. And again, a job coach will be with them to help with any of those jobs as well. United Sports is also a returning partner for us for VIP. I believe they are also a partner for our VTC at the Vanguard School. So some of you may be familiar with them. Participants at United Sports will be working with the operations department, handling some general maintenance and field work. I know in years past, United Sports has a lot of camps and sports camps, and our participants would help set up fields or set up basketball courts or whatever activities needed to be set up for camps there. Our newest partner is Movie Tavern in Exton. So here, our participants will be working in the theaters with some cleaning and disinfecting in between theater showings. They're starting to go to full capacity this week. So this should be an exciting time for our students to be there and getting into a new facility. Well, Movie Tavern's not new, but it's new to us to get in there and try that out. Now we're going to go over some tentative VIP schedules. So it's a 4-week program. The first week is spent in seminars for the full day. So it's like sort of like a school day, except they won't be at school. So our program this year is actually starting on a Tuesday because of the 4th of July weekend. So starting Tuesday through Friday, students should be transported to the Vanguard School. They're typically transported with other ESY students on the ESY buses. Our staff will meet them at the Vanguard School and transport them to our Berwyn location, which is 5 Station Avenue in Berwyn. That's where our customized workforce solutions is housed and our adult recreation services is housed. So it's an office building. They'll be spending their days there doing seminars with the staff. They'll be spread out in different rooms and be able to go over all these different topics. So just to give you an idea, we'll start out with understanding self and others' temperaments. We'll go into things like problem solving in the workplace, matching skills to careers. On this Friday, we do like to go out and visit the job sites where they'll be, just to give them an idea of what to expect the following week. And we do try to go visit Sonesta Suites where they'll be staying for the residency week as well. At the end of the day, we bring them back to the Vanguard School campus so they can catch their transportation home at 3 o'clock. The second and third week look very similar, but they look different than the first week. So weeks 2 and weeks 3 are spent half-day seminars in the mornings typically, and then in the afternoons is when everybody will go to their job sites. So when they're assigned their job site around lunchtime, their job coach will drive them to their job site. They will work there for the afternoon, and then the job coach will bring them back to the Vanguard School campus to catch their transportation back home. So that's week 2. Week 3, they'll be doing the same thing. In the mornings, they're focused on seminars. In the afternoons, they're at the job sites. The only difference for week 3 that I just want to point out to everybody is on Thursday of week 3, we're going to be having a Zoom meeting similar to this one for families and participants to go over the expectations and to answer any questions about what the 4th week will look like for your independent residency week. We will be going over information tonight, but I know this is probably a good 4 to 6 weeks out. So more questions may come up as we get closer. So this will just give everyone an opportunity to touch base, go over some more details in depth. So we'll be doing that Thursday, and we'll send out more information with the link and all of that as it gets closer. Okay, this is week 4. I know it looks a little overwhelming, but we'll take it day by day. So for those of you who are staying for the residency week at Sonesta, on Sunday, check-in time will be 4:30. And again, we'll go over this during our Zoom meeting the week before, but I just want to give you a general idea. Sunday check-in will be at 4:30. So we're asking parents to drop students off at 4:30 for check-in. Staff will be there to meet them, take their luggage, and get them settled in their rooms. That evening's going to be spent, we'll get them dinner. They will have planned with their roommates, meals for the week and that sort of thing. So the first activity is going to be going grocery shopping. So we're going to do that. There's a Wegmans right across the street. So we'll be able to, staff will take them over. They'll do all of that. Staff will get them settled in their rooms so they can prepare for work the next day. The 4th week is spent like anyone would spend, you and I would spend. I do every day. You wake up in the morning, you get ready for work, you go to work, and you come home, you make dinner, and you relax in the evening. So that's what the last week will look like. Their work days will be longer. So they're going to be looking at about 5.5 hours of work per day. So it'll be as close to, a realistic work week as possible. They'll be doing that Monday through Thursday for the most part. Friday, they're going to work. They're most likely not going to get a full 5-hour day in because we do end our day with an awards ceremony and some wrap-up activities. So they will go in after breakfast. They'll go into work. They'll work their half day. They'll have lunch, come back, do our awards ceremony, which families are invited to. We're happy to have you. And then they are headed home after that. So we do our checkout from the hotel in the morning. I should have said that first. So that's the 4 weeks in a nutshell. I know it's a lot of information and I kind of ran through it, but it's just a general overview. And of course, schedules can change depending on, what job sites are requesting and what the curriculum needs. And if we need to run longer on some topics, that's fine. If we need to repeat some things, that's fine. But this is just a general overview of what to expect. So now everyone's favorite, the independent living experience. This year is going to run from July 25th through July 30th. This is just kind of an overview of where everyone will be staying. This is the Sonesta Suites in Malvern. Each suite has a full kitchen. We have access to Wi-Fi. Each student will have at least one roommate. Some will have 2. They are 2-bedroom suites. One of the bedrooms has a king-size bed. The other bedroom has either 1 or 2 queen beds. So they may have, as I said, 1 or 2 roommates. There is a pull-out sofa where staff will be staying. So they will have 24-hour staff available. There are some on-site activities. There's a gym, there's basketball courts, a swimming pool. I know staff like to take the students on walks since we are within walking distance of some trails there. So they do some walks in the evening. there is a Wegmans and Target restaurant shopping nearby as well. And this just gives you a general idea of what the suites look like. So there's some photos here, and you can kind of see the floor plan. So there's a double bedroom here, a single bedroom here, and then in the middle is the living room, kitchen area. We're going to go over some brief COVID protocols. I know with everything lifting and vaccines increasing, we have changed a few things. So I think initially when I sent out acceptances, I think I had put some information in there about COVID protocols and mask wearing and those sorts of things. So for now, of course, this can always change. As we know, as we've all lived through for the last 15 or so months, right? Things change constantly with this. But as of right now, for testing, we partnered with CHOP to be able to provide COVID-19 testing. Right now, it's not like our students aren't required to take it or anything. Staff are able to partake in it if they're interested, and so are students. For our residency week, we are asking, since we are all going to be in close proximity, staying close to one another, we are going to be requiring that staff and participants be tested upon arrival to Sonesta Suites. This is not an invasive test. It's free of charge and it's non-invasive, meaning I'm sure many of you have had to go to CVS and you've had to endure that uncomfortable swab test. This is a swab test. However, it's not as invasive, so it's not painful. I do it every week, so I can attest to that. Results are available within 15 minutes. So we're asking when you drop your student off at Sonesta that we test them, and you kind of hang around for that 15 minutes just to make sure the test is negative. I'm sure everyone's will be, but it's just to kind of, cover our bases and make sure everybody's in a good place when we all get together in Sonesta. Mask wearing will be optional for those who are fully vaccinated while we're at the Berwyn site. We will follow the job site specific rules for mask wearing when we're there. So if Movie Tavern requires their staff to wear masks, regardless of vaccination status, we have to follow Movie Tavern's regulations for that. Symptom tracking, we will not be conducting daily temperature checks. I think I had put that in the original email. We will no longer be doing daily temperature checks or symptom checks, but we are asking just families to, monitor participants. Obviously, if your child is sick or experiencing any symptoms, please don't send them to VIP that day. We can certainly catch them up on what they've missed. Hand washing and social distancing. We're going to promote healthy hygiene. We're including hand washing and sanitizing throughout the day. We will have plenty of hand sanitizers everywhere we go. Social distancing is not required for those who are fully vaccinated. However, personal space is something that should always be encouraged, and that's something we will be working on as well. Let's see. This is just an example of a symptom screening you could keep at home just to remind you. I'm sure we've seen this. I know I have a ton of times over the last year or so of just some symptoms to keep an eye on, and so that you know when to keep your student home if they're experiencing any of these symptoms. Just some next steps. So just today, I sent out an email with a lot of paperwork, so I apologize. But there are a few things in there that I'm hoping to have completed by June 29th, so that's 2 weeks from today, because we would like to have these three, they're online surveys. We would like to have these completed by then so that our staff can have them ahead of time, just to help us familiarize ourselves with the student, your input about the student, and also their job site preferences. So these three surveys that say complete by June 29th, the parent input form, the participant input form, and the job site preference form are all online forms. So there are 3 different links. Parents, you can fill out the parent input form. You just click on the link, complete it, and submit it. It'll come straight to us. And the participants, you guys can fill out your participant input form and your job site preference form. You're just going to put the 4 sites that we talked about, just put them in order from the ones you're interested in most to least. You can move them around on the form. So you'll be able to do that, submit that, and those will come straight to us as well. If there's any questions about any of these, or if you need help filling them out, please don't hesitate to let us know. We're happy to help. Everything else I sent as an attachment in a file. So you should have all the documents in a file in the email I sent today. Those can all be printed, completed, and just sent in the first day of VIP, which would be July 6th. So feel free to just send those in at that time. There's no need to mail them or scan them or anything like that. You could just send them in with your student on the first day of VIP. There is a handbook that's a VIP handbook that's part of that folder. In that handbook, there are some instructions on how to obtain clearances. So some of our sites require criminal clearance, child abuse clearance, and FBI clearance, which some of you may be familiar with through your work. If not, again, we're certainly happy to answer questions. There is a page that walks you through step-by-step how to complete each of those. But if you have questions, we're definitely more than happy to help, and we can help you figure that out. And then, like I said, you could just send those in on the first day. If you didn't receive the email, or you can't find it, or you need me to send it again, please let me know, and I'm happy to do that as well. If you need me to mail the forms to you, if you don't have access to a printer or anything like that, just shoot me an email. I'm happy to print them and mail them out to you so you can have them and fill them out that way. Okay, I think that's it. So I'm going to open it up to questions. Looks like
we did have Niddles, but Ms. Seal did cover that regarding passing the schedule along as a PDF for families, and Michelle did cover that question, saying that we could certainly pass along the schedule, but it is a tentative schedule, and the closer that we get to the actual start date, the more of a detailed schedule we can give week to week. So we could even say this is what the schedule is going to be specifically for week one, because yes, generally right now the schedule that you just saw on your screen, you know, just because it said that on day 2 of week 3 we were going to go over coworker interactions, well, that might actually happen in week 1. You know, how we actually structure when we're going to have these seminars is going to rely on what we feel our participants' needs are and the timing that we have. So it certainly is flexible, but as we get closer, obviously we're going to have more details, and we're going to be passing along even more information in chunks so that we don't overwhelm people with a ton of information, but also making people feel informed.
Absolutely.
Nikki Nikki has his hand up.
Yep.
Sorry, I guess I was muted. But anyway, when I was looking at the last week's schedule, when we say at that place, the after that thing it said prep for bed, then it said journal time. What's that about? I don't remember what that is.
Good question. Mr. Morales, Ms. Seal?
Do you want me to do that?
No,
So
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say the journal time, honestly, there's no, if you're looking at that journal time and you're thinking, oh my goodness, do I have to do homework at night or something like that? No, rest assured, you're not going to be expected to fill out a bunch of papers at the end of each night. You know, as staff members, the staff members that are in your suites might be going around and talking about a little bit of the reflection of the day. Nothing incredibly strenuous where you have to be filling out a bunch of forms or anything like that. It's mostly just processing, talking about how your day went, as well as prepping for the next day.
That's what I thought. That's right.
And I got your comment, Nikki. I know this is your first year, and I saw your name on the list, and I was very excited to see your name on it.
I thought you saw it. I thought you saw it.
The papers that have to be filled out by the 29th, have they already been sent to us?
Yeah, I sent them out today in an email. But if you need me to send them again, I can. The 29th, they're online forms. So you just have to click a link and fill them out on the computer. But we can always make them, you know, a paper, you know, copy if you need that.
Yeah, we can mail them by mail as well, Nancy, if you need them just to send them. in the mail. We
You
can
know,
do that.
I'm not very computer good,
Right.
but I'm working on it.
We could get a packet out ready tomorrow, and I could give it John to take home tomorrow. How's that
That would
sound?
be great. That would be wonderful.
All
Okay.
right,
The
gotcha.
other, she'll send it with you. It's okay.
I will. I'll be in
The other
school.
question, do they bring a packed lunch those first 3 weeks of school?
Great question. Yes.
Okay,
We will be eating over at Berwyn. So we won't have access to the cafeteria on
Right.
campus.
okay.
So, yes.
Excellent question.
Oh, I see the email sent for the paperwork. Yes, I got it.
Okay.
John, did you have anything you wanted to ask?
No.
No, he doesn't have anything he wants to ask.
All right.
Tomorrow or tonight, he'll say, oh, I should have asked that.
John, you can send us an email.
Absolutely. Yep. Anytime.
Who's gonna be my job coach?
Who's it? I don't know yet who your job
Yeah,
coach is gonna be.
we don't
I
know.
don't know.
Well, Nikki's one of them that are going.
Who's on staff that one?
Oh, I don't know all the staff that's going.
The staff, I can pull that slide back up. Let me see here.
Okay.
Yeah, we went over that. Yep.
I think that's
See if you
back-
recognize him, John.
I'm gonna go back here. Let's see. There we go.
There,
Okay.
Miss Hill's gonna be
I know
there.
that is.
Yes,
I don't know.
Morales, Aaron Boring.
I know that is.
Who was your job coach for Fridays this year?
Miss Camilla.
Oh, I don't think he's gonna be there. She, no, no.
I know who that is.
Miss Depacourt,
I know
that's
that.
not her name anymore, right?
Page them what?
Mhm.
You'll know everybody by the end of the 4 weeks, I promise.
And you'll know him by the end of the 4 weeks.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No, everybody knows. I know her. I know her. I know these two.
Yes, okay, now you know.
Yep.
Right.
The other thing
I
is,
kinda put off, talking to John about this so far, you know, I gotta do a little bit at a time with John, so
yeah,
this is okay, though.
good.
Yeah.
So if your child needs any medicine during the first 3 weeks, we'll make sure, well, there might be some others too that might need it. We'll make
Right.
sure that they go check in with the school nurse before we leave for the Berwyn office. And
Okay.
they'll be responsible for taking their meds. While we are at Sonesta, we have a nurse come in, and actually it's the same school nurse. So she'll come in the morning and she'll set the meds up for the day. So Mr. Morales and some other staff will call them in and say, you know, John, you need to come for your AM meds. And then we'll
Right.
show them where it is, because we have those little containers, medicine containers. We provide that. And she puts them in those like individual daily medicine. So then we'll have them take it. The meds there. Your responsibility is, if you could, just like Camp, Mrs. Evans, if you just send them in the prescription bottle with
Yes,
their name
in the
on it.
bottle.
Yep. So that we can, make sure everything's, safe and good to go. And please only send enough for the week, maybe a little bit of extra. Sometimes we get 100 vitamins and our nurses have to count every
Yeah.
medicine.
They
So
send 1 or 2 extra doses, but that's it.
right.
Yeah.
1 or 2 extra doses. That's perfect in case they get dropped on the floor or something. But us
Right.
counting 100 gummy vitamins, is challenging some days.
Definitely.
So, and again, that's explained on the medicine form, on one of the forms that Mrs. Bielo sent out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. One thing I wanted to point out as well, in the handbook, there's a page that talks about a packing list for the Independent Residency Week. And one thing I always thought was neat was, I know Ms. Seal and Mr. Morales have mentioned in these meetings in the past, when you're packing, I don't know if you guys want to expand on this, but don't necessarily pack a ton of clothes, because we want them to use the laundry at Sonesta, so they can get that like still in, so that they can do their laundry. They can, practice doing that as well. So just a tip to put it there. Yeah.
That is correct. And some, just an FYI, and we'll send out, like Mr. Morales was saying, we don't want to give you all the details in one night, but as we know them and as things get settled into VIP, he will be sending home a note stating what they should
Where is she? Can't find her.
I think we may have lost, unless it's me who froze.
No, I think we
Okay.
might have lost.
I think, yeah, I think what Ms. Seal, if I may finish her thought, I'm pretty sure what she was going to say is, we're going to give you that information. I will let you know that a lot of these staff members that you see on your screen are familiar with pretty much every student on campus.
Yeah.
We know these students. We plan heavily on collaborating with guidance counselors, occupational therapists with the time we have remaining. Not saying they're getting those services, but we're just going to say we're going to reach out to
Right.
them and just talk about some of their social needs, their independent
Yes.
living skills needs. So I know that in the past, we've had some families who have, they've seen this presentation and they may have think, oh man, this is a lot. And it is a lot, but at the same time, it's a lot of good stuff. It is a lot of good stuff. It's a
It is.
very exciting thing. I can really barely hold my excitement for this program. I'm excited about it every single summer. It's a wonderful opportunity for these participants to get the responsibilities of being an adult while getting the privileges also of being an adult and having to balance those two things out. We have the staff to be able to support them on the job sites as well as the independent living portions. And so we're excited. We're gonna have a really, really productive and fun time, I think, this summer. And yeah, so like Michelle Seal was about to say, the closer we get to these things, the more information we're going to give out. Obviously, we're, this VIP team, we are a group of planners. We know that not everything is going to go exactly according to plan, but we're going to make sure that we follow our plan as closely as we can. And if we have to be flexible, that sounds great to us. If we as we go into a lesson, if we find out, oh, we don't really need to work on this skill as much, we'll shift. And I think it's going to be an incredibly productive summer. I see we did lose Miss Seal, but she should be
coming back in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any other questions or concerns or?
Not for me. I'm
Sorry
sure I
about
will have more as I think more about this, but not right now.
Yeah.
Mr. Morales, did you finish what I was saying?
I believe I did.
All right, good.
I did my best. I did my best job trying to read your mind.
I knew you would. I knew you'd be able to read it. Okay, good.
It's in the living room.
I have a question.
Sure.
The work experience, is it one site for the 3 weeks, or are they going to be able to rotate through maybe two? How does that work with the job sites?
Yeah, so typically what we do is we assign them to one site. And we do, as I went over, they will be filling out a job preference form, but our staff look at that. And then we also look at other factors as well. So even though someone might want to work at Movie Tavern, maybe we feel like, based on our conversations with the team, that maybe they'd be a better fit for, I don't know, United Sports. I'm just making this up. But we do look at other aspects. If they've done United Sports for the past 2 years at VTC, we're going to try not to put them at United Sports for VIP. But we do keep them in at one site so they can really learn those tasks and really do well with those tasks over the 3 weeks.
Okay, thank you.
Questions?
No, I don't have any more.
And if you have any other, if for some reason anything comes to mind, I hope it's okay that I'm saying this, but I assume that, Ms. Biella, Ms. Seal, that if they have any questions, they can obviously reach out to us at any point.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yep.
Obviously, there's going to be more information that comes out. There's going to be more questions that come off. The more information we give you, the more questions you'll probably end up having. But it's a good thing. I see Nikki got your hand raised, or you did?
Yes, I was just saying that even though ESY is 5 weeks, I'm guessing we're just 4 weeks.
That's correct.
Mhm.
Yeah, I figured on the 5th week we get done before ESY.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you get to enjoy a little bit of extra summer there.
You're right. Extra summer. You're right. You're right.
you might be tired. You might be tired by that. Those 4 weeks might feel like 5 weeks because we're gonna have some
Right.
stuff planned. We're gonna have some stuff planned. But it's
It's gonna be busy.
It's gonna be great though. It's gonna be great because again, like I think for you participants who may be on right now with your parents and you're listening to this, and then when you hear about the independent living portion, I gotta tell you, I think you're gonna love it. I think you're gonna love it. And that's not just me speaking as an adult, as a teacher, as the coordinator saying, yes, this is good for you. It's gonna be good. No, I really think you're gonna love it. It easily becomes most, if not everyone's favorite part of the experience. And like I said, for educators, for the job coach staff, we absolutely love it for you because we see how much fun you have. And at the same time, we're also there to support you in making sure you make your dinner, that you pack your lunch for the next day, that you go to, you know, we're going to tell you it's time to maybe think about going to bed. And if you decide, hey, you know what, I think I want to watch a movie, we're going to tell you, well, just know you're getting up at 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. or whatever time you have to get up. So you're getting up at that time. So again, it's balancing the privileges of being an adult with the responsibilities.
Can you talk about at nighttime? Do you want to watch TV a little bit?
You know, and those are some things that we're going to cover during our sessions. When the closer we get to the independent living portion, I know a lot of you are going to ask Mr. Morales, Ms. Seal, Ms. Biello, are we allowed to watch a movie right now? Are we allowed to do this? Are we allowed to do this? And a lot of times we're going to tell you, you know, you're going to have to make those decisions. If you want to watch that movie at night, you know, you're going to have to be aware of what time you need to get up in the morning. We don't want you to learn the hard way every single time, but yeah, we're going to try to make sure, we're going to try to encourage you to make the best decisions possible. You know, we're not your guardians. We're not going to say lights out and turn it off, but we will check on you. There will be staff in the suites, not in your room, but there will be staff in those suites. So they will know if if you're trying to throw a party, we're going to know about it. We're going to know about it.
We're never gonna throw a party.
No parties, Nikki.
I joke, of course, but there will be plenty of staff to support. And that staff will be supporting you with laundry and making sure that, you know, the kitchen doesn't get burned down and all of those things to support safety. And we know that some of you participants are going to need more support than others. Maybe some of you need more help in the kitchen than others. And again, we're gonna make sure that we put you in the correct groups, the most appropriate groups, and support you the best way we can.
Well said. Any other questions or concerns or comments?
No.
All right. Well, I will take that silence as a good sign. All of you should have my email address. I also included Mr. Morales and Ms. Seal on those emails, so feel free to reach out. I'll be available throughout, so you certainly reach out to me or any of us. We're happy to answer questions for you. So if there's anything else, Mr. Morales, Ms. Seal, any last comments before we let everyone go?
Nope.
Get
I think
excited.
we covered it.
Get excited.
Yep.
You're very
Excellent.
welcome.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Have a
you.
great